Hello, Susannah here from the Good Property Company, literally at the kitchen table. I'm doing a whole series for you guys talking about the deals that we've done so that you can take some of the learnings from my deals and transfer it to your own learning. There's also a couple of things that might be really useful for you. If you go into my website, we've got the free 101 lessons. It's stacked. So, and I've got a whole bunch of other free downloads for you. And then we've got stuff like packs, deal sourcing and all the rest of it. So very good educational content on our website. So go and have a good look. Right, let's talk about payback period, okay? Because guess what happens? If you run out of money as a property investor, that's it, isn't it? You stop. So property is like a great big fat old chip. She's very, very slow to turn around because property isn't very liquid. You're buying big chunks of bricks and mortar. You're spending usually fairly sizable chunks of money on refurbs. And yes, you can refinance and there's a whole bunch of very interesting mortgage products in the market. But nonetheless, property is an illiquid asset. So it's very important, particularly in the early days. And I'm talking about my 5th property. So I'm still working full time, still bringing up the kids, still doing property 30 hours a week, taking Fridays off on holidays and then working Saturdays. Sundays was time with the kids. So I didn't have a huge backup if things went wrong. And I really needed to make sure that every penny of my money was working really hard. So let's talk about Oakdean Avenue. Oakdean Avenue was my 5th property. It's what I love it. It's a lovely little place. It's a lovely little house right beside a beautiful park, pretty central to Bristol. Now I bought that for £122,500. Decent because it was worth 180 at the time. I spent another 23 on it doing a refurb. Okay. So if it was worth 180,000, I then refinanced it back out at 75% loan to value, meaning I took 180,000, which was the RICS valuation at the time, and the bank gave me 75% of that. Super. So I got a mortgage of £135,000 for a house that I bought for 122.5. Why? Because I sourced it discounted. I bought it wholesale, if you like. And I do lots more videos about that and how to do that. And also have a look at some of my packs. I've got deal sourcing packs, deal sourcing workshops for you. Go and have a look at the website. So I bought it for 122.5. It was worth 180 done up. I knew that because I'd done 45 pieces of research. I then took a 75% loan to value mortgage on it and got 135 grand back out, but I spent 23 on it. So I actually had some money left in. So before all the other costs, my uncle calls them crud and corruption, before, legals, stamp duty, blah, 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 I left in 10,500. So obviously I left a bit more in, but I'm just going to keep life really simple for you. So I left 10,500 quid in, plus, as my uncle would call it, the crud and corruption, the fees, the interest, that sort of stuff. So what does that mean? That means I then needed to look at payback. How fast did my money come back out of that property? And of course, in the early days, oh my God, I had to get that money out as fast as possible or I was going to sludge up in the mud. And that's one of the things that you guys need to be very mindful of. Cash flow planning, payback period for your properties. So that property would make roughly kind of £1,000 a month. It was 10.5 grand I left in. I'm keeping as a very simple example. Obviously there's additional fees on top, so but I'm keeping it simple for you guys. So it was 10.5 months payback. Now that for me is an acceptable period of payback where I'm kind of, babying the property. I don't make a penny out of it, but within 10.5 months, my bare bones payback comes back out. So be mindful, guys, when you're doing property, don't get super excited about buying properties. Be mindful that you're an investor and your money, particularly in the early days, has to be pulled out and gone again, pulled out and gone again, or you'll eventually sludge up and just sort of sink through the mud and you'll be like, Suze, I've got no money. And I'm like, yeah, because you didn't buy discounted enough and you weren't making enough yield. So be mindful always of your payback period from the very beginning. Now, I hope you enjoy this whole series. I'm going to do a bunch of deals so that you can take out different things that are useful for you in your business as well. And go check out the website. See you soon. Hey, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed these next videos. But remember, subscribe, turn on your notifications, sit back and enjoy.